Hey, it's Gabriel from Mid-Touch Media. We help gym owners systematize client acquisition and we help them scale to 7 figures. And by the way, don't be like this dude right here. Don't be like this guy. Don't skip leg day. Why do I say this? Because I see so many times gym owners build great marketing strategies that are getting leads through the doors with ads, and it's great, but they don't focus on actually in the back end having a bulletproof sales system to get the best return on investment possible. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how we can get a better return on investment with a killer sales system you can just copy and paste and implement right away. It's going to be incredible. Stay until the end to have a full script. You're going to have everything. And by the way, I think I'm going to also make this slide available in the description so you guys can actually have a look over it, and after the video you can just copy and paste. Think it's gonna be simpler for you guys. But yeah, we're gonna also make it a bit more fun for you guys because I'm gonna use a book that most of you guys have actually read, I think. So we're gonna use this book, Strength Training Anatomy, again by Frédéric Delavier. Why? Because my French body in the back, and we're gonna support our great friend, if that makes sense. Plus, it's a great book. If you didn't read it, highly recommend it. This is an incredible one. But yeah, the thing I have behind this way of thinking is that if you have an imbalanced physique, the whole picture won't make sense again, because sales and marketing, they work together. Meaning that if you have, as I told you guys, if you have a good upper body but you have shit legs, you're not gonna be efficient, whether it's if you're talking in the bodybuilding context, but also if you're talking in the performance context. You can't do shit without good legs. So I'm gonna make sure that you don't have anything that is missing in your physique, in your body, because if not, the entire thing is gonna fall apart. So let's start building, my friends. General rules before we're gonna start. How you say things matters more than what you say. Of course, it matters what you say, but the way you're gonna say it is really important. Right now, you see I'm pretty energetic, I'm pumped, I'm happy, I'm excited to share that excitement with you, and I'm actually putting that at a 12 so I can make sure that behind the video you guys can definitely feel that. Now, if I was talking to this, and yeah, this is the point that I have, and after this we have the next slide, like, you would actually be clicking off the video right now. So I'm making sure I go and I wake you up so you guys can actually, yeah, keep listening to me until the end because this is really important stuff. Also, what I would advise you guys is record your sales so you can improve. Now, how would you go about recording your sales if you're just running around having people doing presentations? I would advise you to do this. Now again, not legal advice. I don't think it's really legal, but it's just for you guys to be able to go back to your recordings and listen back to it so you can actually improve. So what I would do is I would get something like this. You know those little like thingies you use to listen to music? What I would advise you is just having one like this around your neck, something like that. And the thing is, you're just going to activate the voice recording thing on your phone whenever you are having a sales presentation, so that then you can listen back to it and it's kind of under the radar kind of thing, so it's pretty easy for it to go unnoticed. But after this, you can actually listen back to recordings and see, okay, I fucked up at this step of the sales process, and it's extremely important because it's like, yeah, I want to do a bodybuilding contest, but I'm not going to train every day. You know, it's not going to happen. It's exactly the same thing with your sales training. You got to make sure every single day you train, you listen back to your recordings because it's extremely important for you to succeed. Now, also, the other one rules that we got to make sure we take into consideration is if you can help somebody out. If after the line of questioning, which is a step I'm going to show you after this, if after questioning the person, you see this is clearly a fit and you can help them, you don't in any circumstances, you never give up. Oh, I gotta take a look at stuff. Come back here. I can help you out. I'm not gonna give up on you. Never. Fix that as a rule for yourself, because if not, you're gonna let people go that actually needed your help, but they just weren't, like, their brain kind of, they have a fucked perspective and they weren't able to actually make a decision by themselves because, well, they're struggling. That's why they're coming to you. You gotta make sure that you don't let them get in their own way, if that makes sense. Now that you guys know the general rules, let's dive into the meat of this one with the 4-step fitness sales systems. Extremely easy, and I'm going to show you exactly how you guys can implement that today in your gym. Now, we're going to start with the anterior tibialis. That's a niche muscle, which is building rapport. And why did I pick this muscle up? Because it's not as important as people think. Like, people make this using, oh, you gotta build rapport. It's really important. Honestly, they don't give a fuck. They don't give a shit, sorry, but like, they don't give a, they know you don't care about their kids or something like this. Of course, like in the long run, you build a relationship, but when they're coming up to you, they really care about, hey, can you fix my problem? Like, they're gonna love you way more if you actually fix that problem rather than just remembering the kid's name. That's great addition, but we gotta make sure we focus on what's the most important. The first principle of this is making sure we fix that problem. So it shouldn't be more than 30 seconds, a minute, maybe 2 minutes max if you have somebody that's really like talkative and likes to, you know, chat with people. But this is how it goes basically. You're gonna have a micro report step, which is you simply greet them by name enthusiastically. Hey name, how is your day? How is your big week been so far? You can crack a joke, for example. Since I'm French, I definitely use it as my advantage during sales calls, for example. And by the way, I know you can notice I've got a pretty thick and flamboyant accent. So if you don't understand what I say at any point, please stop me. I won't cry, don't worry. Something like this, something funny that actually relaxes people, it's pretty great. After this, you said, hey, well, Grant, let's jump in and get started. If you're ready, of course. And then you go into the next step, which is setting an agenda, and I don't really like this title, but it's pretty what it is, the alpha frame. Meaning that they're gonna see you, they have to see you as an authority, because you can never close a call when you are not in control of it. So here we are really setting the agenda like, hey, I'm the boss, you listen to me, but in a nice way. So we say, hey, okay, so what we're going to do here is I'm going to start off by asking you a few questions about your health and your goals, basically really police interrogation. And if it sounds like a good fit, I will explain you our program and how it works. And at the end, you can decide if you want to be part of it or not. Cool? So that's how you use it, that's how you say it, and yeah, that's how you set the frame. Then we go to the next step, which is the line of questioning. And this is really hamstrings because when you think about it, it's foundational for the close. This is really a foundation we gotta use. It's kind of getting ammo, getting ammunition for us to be able to fire when we are actually in the close, so we can use back that information. Meaning where they say, for example, they struggle with, I don't know, they've been struggling with losing weight for 20 years for now, for example. You can use that to your advantage and say, hey, what we have actually is gonna be the fix for you to be finally able to lose the weight you struggled to lose since you were in high school. So that's definitely something that you want to keep in mind. If you have a notepad, it's great, but if you are able to actually keep it in mind, the thing is just you need to make sure that you use those and you get them, you reuse them when you're going to the close and the pitch. Really important stuff. If I can show you and understand and make you understand in one sentence how selling works, because it's not like a complicated thing, it's just this simple sentence right here. Watch this. You simply determine their current situation, where they want to go, the desired situation, and the gap between those. It's as simple as it. Because what you do is you just say, okay, you're here, you're fat. You want to be here, not fat. The fact they are here, they're coming to you because, well, they're like, shit, I don't like being here, so there is some pain. And they're like, oh, this looks good, incredible. But there is a gap, as you can see, between those 2 points. The only goal you have is to show that your product is the bridge that you're going to be building between those 2 points. That's it. So right here, we're going to actually define what's happening here. Then we are going to also later down the road in this process define what do they want. And when we do the pitch, we are just simply going to bridge and show, oh, look at this. This is the exact system that is going to work for you based on the 2 points you gave me. That's it. It's not rocket science. It's simple and super easy. But I'm going to show you exactly how we do it. So, best practices for this. In this one, stay very monotonal, like a doctor asking questions. Like it's really like, okay. Don't be so excited because after this I'm going to show you exactly why we do so. And you don't really need to be at this point because it's really about understanding and focusing on understanding where they are and where they want to go. If they are a bit vague and not giving you the real answers that you need to, don't hesitate to ask for details. Hey, what do you mean by that exactly? Like, can you explain me that in a little bit more details? That always helps because you really want to make sure you get all the information you need, all the ammunition you need to go to war, to go to the pitch after this. Because if not, you're going to struggle and you're going to be like, oh shit, I don't have any more ammos and I can't fire. You don't want to be in this situation. So I'm going to show you exactly what the line of questioning looks like. So first, we're going to establish the primary motives. So okay, let's get started. So Claire, can you tell me what motivated you to put this time aside and visit our gyms today? Okay, so usually they're going to give you a response here. But if, for example, they're like, oh yeah, I just wanted to come, the offer was pretty interesting and I just wanted to see what it is. Okay, cool. So I see on your application form, if you have an application form, you can be using that line. I see on the application form that you wanted to actually lose weight. Can you elaborate a bit more about that? And they're gonna say, oh yeah, actually I want to lose weight, I want to lose 20 pounds and that's it. Okay, cool. And then you can go into the next steps. Or if you not have this opportunity, you can say something like, hey, is there a specific problem you want to solve? Or dive deeper into this. You gotta make sure you get them at a current situation and they tell you. It's important that you get the information, but most also important is that they realize themselves by saying it that they have a problem and that they need to be fixing it. That's also a really important part. And then after that, we go to the next step, which is understanding where they are at. Okay, so what do you currently do to stay healthy? Those are just some examples. You can pick the ones that you like, depending on your situations and what information you need to have. But you gotta understand where they're at. Okay, so what does your diet look like? Okay, how many times per week do you exercise? Okay, do you have any previous injuries you have? And you keep going like this, and you see this is very monotonal and very like, I'm trying to understand what it is. What's your problem? And really be listening to them. Really make sure you nod, you're like, okay, I see. Okay, cool. But just like, you ask your question, you shut up. Cool, go to the next one. Okay, next question. And you keep doing this until you run your entire list of questions. Then you indirectly cause pain. So those are questions we are going to ask, but those questions we are going to ask them in a way to make them realize, oh shit, actually I'm fat and I need to change something. Now, I know some people that may struggle with this because they're like, oh, I don't really want to cause pain to people, that's weird. Yes, but realize this. People are coming to you with a problem. They have been unhealthy. They have a problem. They want to get better at X thing. They want to maybe get to perform better. For example, if you're working in that area, into athletics and things like this, they've been struggling with this for a long time. They've been thinking about it day and night, about getting this problem solved. So we gotta make sure that whatever it is, the tactic we're using, we maximize our chances to get there. And to do that, we gotta make them realize, because most of us are in denial. We are not realizing through the weight of every decisions we are making, and this step is really to make sure we make them realize, do you see what's wrong? I want you to see what's wrong. That's really what this step is about. So let me run through it really quick by you. By the way, again, you gotta change the questions depending on the questions you need to ask, but that's a general frame that you guys can use. So, okay. And how much do you weigh right now? Cool. Okay. What's your goal? Okay. How comfortable do you feel in your own skin at the moment? Okay. How is this something you've been struggling? How long have you been struggling with this? Something like this. You indirectly cause pain. Don't make it too obvious, but by asking those questions, it's gonna actually show them out. Shit, it really hurts, you know. Then we're gonna define their goals and future pace it. So now we said it, okay, this is our current situation and it sucks. Now we're gonna go into the next step. Oh, this is what I want, and it's great. So we're gonna set the second point. Okay, Claire, so what is the 12-month goal that you have with your health? How much do you want to wait by that time? Okay. What is your motivation for getting there? Okay. How would your life change if this happened? Okay. And how would getting to X pounds have an impact on other areas of your life? Okay. What have you tried in the past to get there? And actually, the last one is really great because they already tried something, you know. They probably tried some diets, other gyms, or things like this that didn't work because they are here with you. So if you can keep that in mind as well, later down the road, because let's say they say, oh, I tried keto, it don't work and I hate it, you know. Well, make sure that you tailor your pitch a little bit. Again, 80% of the frame is going to be stagnant, but the 20% of the way is going to be adjusted depending on what you gathered in this step. So if they say they hate keto, make sure that you say, hey, by the way, we're going to use it. It's so simple. It's way easier to adhere than keto. You're going to have no issues using it. And actually, we have a lot of people coming from keto diets and they love it. Something like this, like they're going to be definitely like, okay, this is not a concern I should be having. So gather what they did here and tailor it. Put yourself against the bad things. And also if they liked things, for example, let's say in the other case, they say, oh, but I really liked intermittent fasting, for example. Well, you can say, and actually, we can definitely work on something else because you said you like intermittent fasting. We're going to work that out so it can actually get you to lose those 20 pounds so you can enjoy it and keep something that you like in your routine. So that's a great way to actually implement it. And also, yeah, make sure that you realize that you are keeping in mind the good and the bad stuff so that you can use it back later down the road. Prospect admits defeat. So now we set an initial situation. Next situation, where I want to go. We got to make sure that they realize I cannot bridge the gap alone, because that's where you're going to come in with your product and your solution. Okay, Claire, so you're currently at, I don't know, I'm French, so I don't know what pounds is, but let's say you're currently at 200 pounds, let's say, and you want to get to 130 pounds. Don't know how much that is, but you get it. So you want to lose 70 pounds. Tell me, what's stopping you from doing this on your own? And at this stage, they're going to give you either of those three answers. Either they can do it on their own, they don't have the knowledge to do so. Either they wanted to get it faster, maybe they're going to get it, they are getting it, they're getting pretty great, but they want to get faster, they're kind of stuck, they're kind of plateauing, you know. Or maybe they want to follow a proven system and get mentored by people that actually know something. They're going to give you an answer depending on that's going to range between one of those three. So then we're going to establish conviction and deep emotions. That's where, okay, this is a gap, this is it. I'm going to show you now. You really want to do this, basically. Okay, Claire, so you're currently at 200 pounds. Why not just continue what you're doing right now and stay where you are? Okay, and how is struggling with your weight having an impact on you? Okay, when do you want to fix this problem? Okay, I understand you want to fix this now, but what is your level of commitment to actually making this happen? And here you're actually making them qualify themselves a bit. So like, okay, I'm actually going to put in work to whatever it is that you're going to tell me. So it's pre-qualifying themselves to actually listen to what you're telling, which is great. Okay, great. Well, appreciate you enduring my police interrogation. So this is a kind of a great line you can use to make it like, again, cracking a little jokes here and there. It's always good to make the atmosphere more enjoyable. Then we go into the pitch. So it's going to be the quads in this situation. So the pitch, remember, we have somebody that's primed and ready to take action. And now it's your job to show them that you are the right person to get them to their goal. Give it your best. So if you remember correctly, the tone we used in the previous step was more monotonal, kind of an interrogation, a police interrogation kind of thing. Now we're going to dial in the excitement to a 12. We go for from a 2 to a 12 like this. And they're going to be like, oh, what is that? And that emotional gap you're going to create as well, it's pretty interesting because it's going to definitely make your pitch shine way more, if that makes sense. So this, I can't really give you a pitch tailored for your specific product because it really depends on what you are selling in your gym. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you best practices, general rules, and things you need to include in it so you can build it and craft it extremely easily. So first of all, as I told you, your tone needs to be extreme, shining extreme confidence and excitement. This is your shot to change that person's life. You gotta make it seem like it's the best thing on earth, and actually it should be if you have a great product. You're gonna start with a statement of confidence and permission to explain. So I'm gonna show you a basic framework you can use, and after that, we're gonna dive deep a little bit more into what you can include or what you cannot include. Okay, Claire. Well, I can say with a lot of confidence that we can definitely help you lose those 20 pounds. Would you like me to explain you how? Then you shut up. I'm going to say, yes, of course. Well, Claire, our area of expertise is in helping women to lose over 10 pounds. And we do this by using easy to implement diet and workout systems you can use anywhere. Now, the ideal member to work with us is typically looking to lose between 10 to sometimes 40 pounds. And the main goal they have is to do that in a good way, in a way that's going to actually make them able to keep the weight off, if that makes sense. And the main problem we help them solve is making sure we fix all their bad habits and implement all the good ones. So it seems to me like you're a damn good fit for what we do. Then you shut up. So it wasn't that fluent because I came up with it on the go, but you get the idea. You can implement your specific situation in this script. But then you shut up. And you're going to be like, okay, so how does it work? And that's when you go into the pitch. Now, again, this one really depends on your offer, but I'm going to give you some general rule of thumbs. You got to stay vague and simple. For example, don't say, this one is really hard, guys. By the way, so unlock your optimal metabolic potential synergistically enhancing your cardiovascular system, lean muscle mass, and fat oxidation to achieve a scientifically tailored 20-pound fat loss transformation. Don't say this. It's kind of a joke, but make it super simple. I see guys that are going way more into details on like cycles and shit. Like they don't give a fuck. They just want to make sure you get them to get more muscle, more performance, or lose fat. That's it. What you can say, for example, if we take this example before, is say, hey, we'll make you a 20-pound weight loss plan that's easy and effective. We used to get all our members that desire weight loss goals. Simple. You stay vague. You're not like, we're using this and this technique, because if you do that, you're going to activate something that in the brain of the prospect, which is called feature focus. And the thing is, as I told you previously, they had some bad experiences. And let's say you're like, let's say you say diet plan, and you say a specific diet plan. Oh, we use keto diet plans. And let's say, for example, the person heard like read an article on keto, and they say, oh, it's bad for your health or something. They're gonna be like, oh shit, I can buy this because it's keto. Oh shit, and they're gonna focus on that, and you're gonna have a terrible time handling this in the objection phase. So stay vague, so you don't bring up objections, and just focus on, okay, this is what we're gonna do vaguely, and keep it simple. Structure it in an easy step-by-step way. So for example, let's say we say, hey, we're going to start by having a quick health check to make sure everything is okay. Then during the first 2 weeks, we're going to actually implement some processes that are proven that are going to make you go, like you go on and on using the principles I told you previously, but layering it into a chronological way makes it even simpler for them and really like, oh, okay, makes sense. That's the process I'm going to go through, and it kind of reassures them a bit. After this, also, if you have a guarantee that you have stated at the end of the pitch, so you basically show every step of the process, vague, again, not going on features, but benefits, and if you have a guarantee at the end, you say, hey, we tie it up all down with a guarantee that states that, and you say the guarantee. And then what you do is that, and that's really important, you always, when you say something that you're doing, you attach it to their goals. It's extremely important because, again, it's going to show you, okay, this makes sense because it's going to help me getting this. If I come up with something on the top of my head, it could be something like this. In the first 2 weeks, what we're going to focus on is eliminating all the bad habits that you have so that you can actually lose some fat extremely fast, and therefore it's going to get you closer and faster, a great kickstart to getting at those 20 pounds lost. Then you can say later down the pitch, you go and you talk about something else, and you can say something like, after this, we're going to focus on building great habits that you're going to be able to keep, whether it's about working out, diet, and all the other things that you got to focus on. For example, going out, what you're going to do, and all those things like this. We handle everything so that in the long run, you can actually lose the weight, those 20 pounds, but also keep it off. You see, at each time that I actually state what I do at this step, I retouch it to their goal. So it's the ammunition I talked to you guys about. It's there that you're actually using the ammunition you're getting for the previous step, from the previous steps. So understand that this is where you're using them. Remember those, maybe you have notes, but use them at this step of the pitch. Then I also showed you a quick, for example, structure you can use. So you can do goal without potential objections, because sometimes they are going to be like, okay, but maybe I'm going to do this, and let's say they don't like meal plans, but they think, oh, meal plans are hard to implement, and I'm going to have to buy food that is expensive or things like this. It's good to add after this, so you, like for example, so you can use 20 pounds without spending a whole lot of money on foods that is extremely expensive. We made a list that's extremely comprehensive for you guys to do so. And that's a little bit of a note that I have right after this one, which is making sure that you handle objections before they come up. Like, your pitch should show that your offer is built to make sure that all the problems they may face down the road, they wouldn't be an issue because they are already been handled. That's how you build a great offer, by the way, is you think about all the objections that they are getting, all the potential problems they may face, and you build a product that basically handles all those issues before they even come up. So that way you can just state the pitch. And if you build the pitch and your offer correctly, you really have no objections. And that's so great because it really saves you some time and also some headaches, and you get to sign up more people way faster, and they're going to love you for that. Number 6, if they ask you questions during the pitch, dodge it and say, hey, great question. I will take a note of that and answer it at the end of the operation or the presentation. By the way, I'm going to most likely answer this one during the next few sentences I've got for you. So yeah, if you have a full understanding of it, it's going to make sense. Because you want to make sure you have them understand the whole thing before they ask you questions. Really important. Then, also really important, that's a big one, don't give price before you finish a pitch. Ideally, they shouldn't be really knowing the price if you're running a special offer. And once you do, before actually going into the price, one thing that you should be doing is you say something along those lines. Hey Claire, do you see exactly how this would get you to lose those 20 pounds? They're going to most likely tell you yes, or if they have some questions like, what does the meal plan looking like? What's the workout going to be? They're going to ask you the questions they have. You handle them, you answer those. You're also going to have to spot that with their tone. And so after that, you just double check to make sure that they fully understand. Got you. And just to double check, everything is clear from A to Z. From the first week we're going to get you on board till when you're actually able to keep up that fat that you are having. Am I right? You really want to make sure, because after this, if you say the price, if you state the price after that, because they still have some doubts, they're gonna give you an excuse and they're not gonna move forward basically. So make sure that you handle this one. Then we're gonna leverage urgency and scarcity during the price reveal. Extremely important because that's gonna facilitate the fact that I'm gonna take a decision right now, and it's gonna prevent the I need to talk about it and I need to talk to my spouse. So to prevent this, we're gonna have some urgency to elements in your offer that makes it a no-brainer to sign now. For example, what you can use is special bonuses that they really want to get. Like bonuses, they have to be good because if it's something they don't really care about, they're not gonna have that urgency aspect of I really need to do this now. So make sure it's really something that they want, and that's gonna help them to get that to their goals. So discounts on the yearly engagement, that's a great one you can use. It's only available during the first workout you're doing right now, so definitely take advantage of that. Special seasonal offers, for example, like we're getting closer to Black Friday right now. This is only available until Black Friday, so take advantage of this, or get 1 month free. You can be creative, but those are ideas you can use. So those are some urgency plays, but you can also use some scarcity plays to increase the chance for them to close now. So urgency is we're talking about a unit of time, and scarcity is about talking a unit of quantity. So here you can say, for example, we only have X spots available, only 10 spots available for the time you want to come, or something like this. Or we're closing this thing down when all the spots are filled up and I already have 10 appointments booked for getting the 3 places that we still have left. Then you say the price and you shut up. Like you say the price and you don't say a word. And if you have to wait 5 minutes for them to say a word, you don't say anything. You shut up. And after this, we're going to the last step of the process, which is objection handling. And I kept this one for the glutes. Why? Because it's the strongest muscle in the body, and it has to be the same for objection handling, because this is what separates the good from the great. Everybody can learn a pitch, have the right tonality, ask you a few questions. That's really not that hard. But handling objections and staying in there, like when it gets heated, it's where the great people come out, and actually when you close the most sales. So definitely work on that. I'm going to do a whole masterclass on objection handling, multiple videos on that, but I'm going to give you some general rules that you can apply right now today. So objections, if you understand this, it's going to be extremely easy to understand what objections mean, because people see it as this big thing that's so nasty and you can't do anything about it. You really have to understand what it is. Objections, they are simply a manifestation of uncertainty, oftentimes related to price, product, or timing, and your job is simply to dig until you find the thing that you're uncertain about and then handle it. That's it. Most of the times I'm going to tell you, oh, I need to think about it, or like I need this, or I don't think really about that, like I need to think about it, I need to talk to my spouse. Those things, what they really say is, I'm uncertain about something, and I just don't really want to tell you what it is, because I'm scared to, offend you or anything. So I'm just going to say I need to think about it so I can go away and not have this conversation. That's basically what the prospects are saying. It's only a question. They don't want to hear and talk to their spouse. They don't want to think about it. Like, think about it. They're going to be like, they're not going to stand like this and at their house and be like, am I really going to do this or not? Like, on their rocking chair or things like this. They're not. They're simply not going to do that. So it's really about digging and finding, okay, what is it? What is it that is a problem? Is it me? Is it the price? Is it the product we have? Do you have some doubts about the processes? That's where actually you gotta make sure as Unsu said, you gotta make sure you win the war before it even starts by not actually bringing up some potential objection and trying to handle them, the kind of feature, product objections they may have, handle them before dropping the price so you can actually have a better time here. But if they didn't told you and they still have, you gotta find it out. And also, here are some good practices that you definitely should be using. Don't quit. No is not an answer, because as I told you guys, at this time, you have a prospect that is qualified and that you can help. Your mission, if you can clearly see you can help them, is to not give up, because the only thing that's keeping them up to sign up right now, unless this is a genuine, they can afford it, and usually they can, unless it's this situation, you shouldn't. In any situation, for any reasons, quit on signing them up. Not possible. Especially if they came up to your gym. Like, I could understand if you were reaching out to them, like cold calling them and actually setting up a time because you are interacting their day or things like this. But here, they came up to you. They set up a time to actually sign up for the gym. So they have to convert here. It's gonna be, the thing is, I can tell you, yes, sometimes it's going to be needed to, maybe they're not ready now, but in a few months, that's why we have those processes that you can use from the marketing video that's previous to this one that you can use to actually get them back on a meeting. But 95% of the times, they're ready. So make sure to close them on the go. Then, also again, I mentioned this already, but they don't need time to think about this. They don't need it. One close, I'm gonna actually, I didn't want to give you closing lines for this one, but I'm gonna give you one. Let's say somebody tells you, oh yeah, okay, cool, that sounds good, but I just need to think about it for a second. Okay, cool, I would say that. Okay, no problem, that's not a problem. Well, actually, I've been dying to make myself a coffee. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make myself one. Do you want one, by the way? Okay, cool. I'm gonna make both of us a coffee. You can have a think about it, sit here, have a think about it, and then we can talk about it. Cool? So you're basically telling them, yeah, you can think about it, but it's like, they're staying here. Like, you can just think, like, take 5 seconds and think about it. Most of the times they're gonna be like, yeah, the real thing is X. And then you can handle the X thing. But the thing is, if they tell you it's price, if they tell you it's, I need to think about it, or I need to talk to my spouse, most of the times it's bullshit. You really have to dig and find, okay, it's either something along the lines of the product, they don't think they can do it, maybe it's themselves, they don't think they are able to do it, and that's when actually having a great product that handles those things is great, because let's say they're like, oh, but yeah, but the thing is, I just need to talk to my wife about it. Okay, cool, I understand, but tell me, what's really the thing? Well, the real thing is that I'm not sure I can handle the workouts. Like, I'm just starting out and I see all you guys doing some great things and I don't think I can handle this. Oh, that's great. We actually have some workouts that are specifically made for beginners, and you're going to be in a group of people that are just starting with the program for you. Don't worry, everybody else, those guys actually went through this program already. In a few months, you're going to be able to be with them, but in the beginning, we want to make sure that you have the great foundations and you are not doing the same thing as them. Does that make sense? So yeah, in this situation, your product handles that. And they'll be like, oh, well, awesome, let's go ahead, and if it was really their only concern, they would go ahead and would sign up. But the thing is, you have to find it. It's typically something along the lines of the product, sometimes a price issue, and in this situation, if pricing is a real issue, they're like, I genuinely can't afford it. Then you can go into downsales, or you can go into, okay, well, since you cannot do this, why don't we do this? I don't do this really often, but why don't we actually go ahead and split that up into multiple payments? Does that sound fair? Something like this. Like, again, I'm getting ahead of myself and give you some actual lines, but you can have down sales, you can have all the opportunities or the products you can direct them to, so you can actually go ahead and sign them up at a lower price, but still have them solve the problem in some ways. And by the way, just a quick heads up, there is a link in the bio. If you're a gym owner that's struggling to systematize client acquisition, you can click it. I don't care if you don't. Keep enjoying the videos. By the way, I would really appreciate that you like the video, because if you do like those videos and you subscribe to the channel, first of all, I would really appreciate it, but second of all, it's going to recommend to YouTube all the videos that are incredible and that are going to help you to grow your business. So it's definitely a good play on your hand, just saying. But besides that, I just really want to say that I appreciate your time and staying here with me watching this video, because I know how valuable the time is. So I see you on the next one. It was a pleasure having you in today.